Skyrim Special Edition and Fallout 4 are about to get some major updates, and if you haven't watched my video from yesterday, then I'd really suggest doing so before or after this video, as we covered Fallout 4's update in detail and why it's expected to drop very soon. Now, the entire reason why I'm making an update video on this topic so fast, literally the next day, is because we got some potential unexpected hints towards Skyrim's next major update, which Bethesda's been working away on for the last several months. It's expected to add a whole new collection of Creation Club content and potentially some other changes as well. But we'll get into that in a moment, as there are two major changes that have occurred during the time I was working on the last video that are potential big indicators for the next Skyrim updates possibly dropping very soon. The first of which you can probably guess, especially if you watched the last video, that being a change in the pattern of updates for the testing build of Skyrim Special Edition as seen on SteamDB. The developer testing build, which goes by the name Callow, had been receiving daily updates for several months, with the last time they missed a day being on September 10th, and the last time they missed 3 days in a row being over 5 months ago, back in July. And as of 3 days ago, the Callow build has stopped receiving updates. Of course, this by itself wouldn't be nearly enough for me to make a video, as it could just be a coincidence with everything that's going on for Fallout 4. This is where Bethesda Game Studios' tweet from 2 days ago comes in, where they stated the following. We're planning an extended maintenance window for in-game mods and Creation Club services starting the morning of November 29th. During this downtime, Skyrim mods and Creation Club content you already have downloaded will still be accessible, along with the game. However, players will not be able to access the mods and Creation Club services or be able to change their mod load orders. The Skyrim mods website will also undergo maintenance during this window, and the ability to upload content from the Creation Kit will be temporarily unavailable. We thank you for your patience during this longer maintenance window and encourage you to keep an eye on our official Bethesda Game Studios Discord or our Bethesda.net status portal for more details and updates. So Skyrim Special Edition's testing build stopped receiving updates, and then the next day, Bethesda Game Studios announced that the Creation Club services will be experiencing some extended maintenance. Now, to be clear, this is just a back-end maintenance, as a Bethesda moderator even addressed on the official Discord in response to someone asking if it will break SKSE. So this isn't a game update or anything, and we won't be seeing any immediate changes from this maintenance, but this maintenance could be tied to something happening in the near future, potentially even something along the lines of a Creation Club 2.0 and potentially an upgrade to the mod system itself. Of course, that is unconfirmed, but Fallout 4's mod system, for example, still has a 2 GB limit on consoles, with Skyrim's being 5 GB, so I think this would be an obvious place to upgrade things for the next-gen update. And of course, PlayStation still doesn't allow mods with user-generated content for either Fallout 4 or Skyrim, which while they might stay stubborn on not allowing it for whatever reason, they have since accepted games like Roblox on PS5, which are completely sustained by user-generated content. So it'd be kind of weird if they still wouldn't be down for user-generated content in Fallout 4 and Skyrim on PS5, but we'll have to wait and see. I think it would be a major win if the two figure it out, but of course Bethesda might not have as much incentive anymore to push for it, considering they're now under the Xbox umbrella. That being said, the timing of some form of update or upgrade coming soon to these systems would make a ton of sense to me. Fallout 4 is getting its next-gen update with a new round of Creation Club content, still expected for this year. Skyrim's testing build has been getting daily updates consistently since January of this year up until 3 days ago, and is also expected to come with a new collection of creation content, and Starfield is expected to receive its built-in mod and creation support on all available platforms in early 2024, as Bethesda announced back in September. Of course, BGS is also working on more major updates for Starfield in general, with the DevTech build for Starfield receiving daily updates following the release of the most recent update, which introduced things like DLSS and the ability to ingest food and drinks without looting them. Not a massive update, but the most sizable that we've seen from Starfield since the release back in September. But just to clarify one quick thing here, I am not saying we're getting an announcement or anything on November 29th during this maintenance. Rather, I think it's just a piece to the puzzle to whatever Bethesda Game Studios is up to, as updates are now expected for Fallout 4, Skyrim, and Starfield sometime soon. And as I mentioned in the last video, this could be all in preparation for a proper reveal at or around the Game Awards, which I do expect Xbox to participate in, especially after skipping it last year. Of course, all these things could be small enough for BGS to do their own announcements or even shadow drop them like any other updates, but I do think it would be worthwhile, given that all these updates are close, to have at least some form of pre-launch announcement, especially if the updates do end up being meaningful in any way. As for whether this update for Skyrim could include anything beyond Creation Club content, that would be pure speculation, but if they are making any upgrades to Fallout 4 with the next-gen update, such as bringing DLSS and FSR, uncapped frame rate support, or anything that could somewhat reasonably translate to Skyrim, I could see them going through the effort of porting those improvements over for PC players. Of course, none of those things are confirmed for Fallout 4's next-gen update as of yet, so I wouldn't get your hopes up for anything beyond Creation Club content. Now, as we discussed in the Fallout 4 video yesterday, I do also want to note here that the update for Skyrim will temporarily mess with SKSE 64 and the mods that require it, but it shouldn't be to the extent that we discussed for the Fallout 4 next-gen update. For Skyrim, it should be like any other update. That means that SKSE and address library will require an update, but that usually only takes a day or so, and the rest of your mod list should be completely fine. No need for any doom and gloom over the next Skyrim update, as we've had to deal with a lot in the past. But I would say be prepared for a day or two of your mod list not working, just in case things take a little bit longer to update, as this update could be shadow dropped. As I insinuated earlier, the situation for Fallout 4 is likely going to be a little more tricky, but I'm not going to rehash that here, so I do suggest giving that video a watch if you missed it and happen to also care about the future of Fallout 4 and your 500 plus mods. With all that said though, I could end up being entirely wrong with the indicators on this one, as they aren't anywhere near as solid as with the Fallout 4 next gen updates. We have literally zero official details on this next Skyrim update, other than the fact that it's coming. The Colo test build could get an update an hour after I upload this video, and I'd probably look like an absolute dumbass. But with what seems like all the stars aligning before the end of the year, just in time for the Game Awards, and this being the longest halt in updates for over 5 months, I do find all of this quite peculiar, and I think Bethesda Game Studios is up to something. And I cannot wait to see what that is, whether it's worth the wait or not. I just want to know. Now, I don't actually plan on making any more updates on this subject until we get something more concrete from Bethesda. As if these two videos weren't connected, it would probably look like I was grasping at straws. But I will, of course, cover all the upcoming updates for Fallout 4, Skyrim, and Starfield moving forward. In the meantime, while we wait for Bethesda as they're having their moment of silence, I'll be uploading some exciting videos on the future of Starfield, some mod showcases, as well as some mod tutorials that have been very highly requested. So if that entices you and you like to support the channel more directly, then becoming a member on the channel will gain you early access to some of those videos whenever they're done ahead of time, which I'm currently aiming to have a few done for early access over the weekend. And hey, you also get a very ugly badge next to your name whenever you comment on one of my videos, and some ugly emotes. And while we're at it, if you have any suggestions for what we could do for the badge and emotes, I'm all ears. And now, instead of sitting and staring at the screen waiting for my next video, as I know you all do, why not check out the Fallout video from yesterday if you happen to miss it, or the Witcher 3 video from the day before that, because that game got some very exciting mod news. But that's it for this video. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, this is Apoqsi, signing off.